Okay, welcome everyone to the Easton Historical Commission's monthly meeting on August 10th today at 6:30, where are we? 6:34. I'd like to have our designate alternates to vote tonight, and that would.
Sure thing. If I could just do the remote meeting instructions. In accordance with an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law by Governor Baker on June 16, 2021, and amended on February 12, 2022, the August 10th, 2022 Easton Historical Commission meeting will not be open to the public for physical attendance, and the members are calling in via Zoom. The meeting is being recorded by Easton Community Access Television, ECAT. The public may use the Q&A feature of Zoom if and when instructed to do so by the chair. Questions must include your name and address, as the question and response from the town will be incorporated into the public record via minutes. Each member is asked to state their name and whether they're present to confirm a quorum.
John Ventresco.
Majid Lashkari.
Mickey Wolf.
Okay. Thank you. And then John, I think it was, you were saying we should designate, motion second to designate Mickey as a voting member?
Mickey, yes, I'd like to vote Mickey in as a voting member tonight to make our quorum.
Do we have a motion?
Majid Lashkari, yes.
Okay, and do we have a second?
John Ventresco, second.
Okay, and roll call vote.
Okay, we are going for a certificate of appropriateness application.
Hey, John, could we have the roll call vote, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call vote.
Yes, please.
John? Yes.
Thank you.
Majid, yes.
Okay,
Wolf, yes.
thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Do you need a motion now to open the public hearing?
Exactly so.
So moved.
Thank you.
Open the public hearing.
Second?
Majid, yes.
All in favor?
Roll call vote.
John?
It has to be roll call.
Yeah.
Okay, Lashkari was a yes. Mickey?
And Wolf, yes.
Thank you. We'll get there. And, all right, so the public hearing with a motion by Wolf and a second by Ventresco and a unanimous roll call vote. The public hearing for the 149 Elm Street Certificate of Appropriateness application was opened at 6:37.
Okay, has all commission members reviewed 149 Elm Street? Mickey, do you have any questions, concerns with this property?
I muted myself again. I wasn't here at the last meeting, so I reviewed the minutes. No questions at this time?
Majid?
Just I saw the material, I mean the documents that I received, and I look at them a little bit. So one question I have, this seems to be a small, actually, building. Actually, it's a kind of shed or something. I didn't see this on the Google map. I don't know exactly where this is located. My question was if it is in backyard, because in front I see a 2-story building, but nothing I see inside. So just curious to know where this is located.
Yeah, we've got Artie Paquin representing the property owner. Artie, you're a panelist. If you could maybe unmute yourself, and if you want to turn on your camera, maybe you could talk a little bit. Or if you don't have a camera, that's fine too.
Hello, hi.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I can't figure out how to turn my camera on, so my apologies. So the property, it's Artie Paquin, 119 Reynolds Street, in here in Northeastern. So The shed is not original to the house, and it sits, if you're looking at it from the street, back left corner.
Okay, thank you.
I've actually reviewed this as it was sent out to us by Wayne, and I went out and looked at it. I don't see any issues whatsoever. It's not any type of historical. I think it's built, if I am knowledgeable enough on this, probably been there maybe 50 years.
Yeah, that's what we're guessing with the type of lumber they use to construct it.
And what is going in its place?
Nothing.
Nothing. And the reasoning, again,
It's just in disrepair.
yeah, I don't see any issues here whatsoever. It's not, again, under the historical timeline structure, it has no bearing on Langwater. If there's no other issues, I'd like to move this.
So I'm hearing that the small shed or garage was built likely in the 1950s or 60s, is not a contributing historic structure within the local historic district, and does not have historic significance either for 149 Elm Street or the local historic district. So I'm hearing a motion and a second to grant a certificate of appropriateness for the demolition of the circa 1950s garage at 149 Elm Street.
That is well said and correct.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Motion as stated.
Thank you.
And I'll second.
Thanks.
I agree, Majid Lashkari.
Okay, so roll call vote. John, if you could start us off.
John Ventresco, yes.
Majid Lashkari, second.
And Wolf, yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Pickman, so that is a certificate of appropriateness has been granted by the Historical Commission for the demolition of the small shed or garage at 149 Elm Street. I will put together a certificate and have that reviewed by Mr. Ventresco tomorrow, and then I'll send that out to you and to the building inspector, and I'll also approve it within the online permitting system.
Thank you guys very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And then what we need a motion and a second to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay.
Second,
Yes,
John Ventresco,
Majid Lashkari. Yes,
Okay, and Wolf is a yes, I suppose?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, the public hearing has been closed at 6:42 PM. Making a note of it.
okay, we have pulling up 20 South Street. And I'm assuming the commissioners have taken a look at this application in the MHC inventory list. And if you can give me a sec to just open this up. Has everybody reviewed this?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at this too. I've actually gone out to it also. I mean, again, there's nothing here that I can see that'd be any issues. This has already been, actually, this access to this property has already been approved by the planning. Is that correct, Bill?
Yes, Bill Humphrey, I'm the owner of 20 South Street. Yeah, when I went before planning board to do the flexible zoning, one of the stipulations, what I brought forward to them is I told them I wanted to save the house at 20 South Street, because I felt that it was, and I'm sure you guys too, that it has a lot of historical value. It's a beautiful home. It's a big house. It's 3,000 square feet. But the problem was when I told the planning board when I was creating the lots with them, that the barn was, that probably, according to the people that owned it, the barn hasn't been used since they have owned it back in 1961. So the owners that I bought it from, they haven't used the barn for for over 50 years. So they haven't done anything to it. John, you've been out there, so you've seen the building. It's horrible. The foundation, the only thing that's holding it up are the trees that have grown up around the building. They're keeping it from falling, but it's built terribly. It looks like something the house is built beautifully. The construction of the home, if you look at the roof line, gorgeous. You look at the barn, you look inside, it's all built out of tree limbs, and it's horrible. But anyway, so it's on, it has to come down, and that was my agreement with the planning board that I would get rid of that stuff because it's on one of the lot lines. But there's other buildings there. John, did you see the other building?
Yes, I did. The other one.
The other building half of it's gone already. It's fallen in. So I was out there, sent you guys pictures of it. So the north side of it is caved in and the roof is caved in. So we've got approvals on our subdivision, and 2 weeks from today, the appeal period is over. So first thing before I get anybody in there working is I want to have my permits in place to remove these buildings. I don't want anybody getting hurt because right now they're dangerous, very dangerous. So before the workers get in there, I want to get these buildings out of there. So there's one they call it a shed, but it isn't. It's just a roof over some 2-by-something structure. They're calling it a shed, which it isn't. And I don't know what, it was more like a sitting area. It's on the northeast side of the house. So on there I have down to remove 2 barns and 2 sheds. It's really 2 barns and 2 roof structures that are then I don't even know if that's the right term for them. I just put them on there because I think when I go for the permit, I just want to make sure I cover myself, that you guys have talked about it. So anyway, there's nothing I can't even salvage the wood there. I would if I could. There's not even salvageable wood there.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. I know this isn't part of the application process, but so you are saving the house, is that correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. The house itself has 9-foot ceilings on the first floor, and the second floor has 8-foot-6 ceilings. It's pretty significant. It's a beautiful home.
It is a beautiful home.
But when I do my work on it, it's got a new roof on it right now, and the roof is straight as can be, but it needs to be resided, needs new windows, needs to be updated. And I don't know how this is going to, I've talked with Greg Strange about this. I'm stripping the inside down to the bones. I'm ripping out, because there's some water damage, et cetera. The house really hasn't been taken care of in a long time. So I'm gonna strip it down on the insides to the bone so I can update everything. I don't know what's going to happen, because I have to enlarge the staircase that's in there. It's 8-to-8 treads on the stairs, so those aren't legal, obviously. But when I get into it, I gotta make the staircase bigger, move the rooms around, et cetera. But I don't know what it's going to entail on the construction on it. Are they gonna make me fur out all the walls and go 2-by-6 construction, to meet the new stretch code? Greg's saying his opinion is I don't know. I've talked to other people and they say I do if you go over a certain percentage, even if because it's not an historical district. So since it's not an historical district, I have to follow the rules of the stretch code. I don't know the answers to this yet. So, but I'm going to strip it down on the inside and update it so the inside meets all the new stretch code, with the insulation and everything else, and the windows, et cetera. But the appearance on the outside, the only thing I'm going to change on the outside when we get to that, I know I'm off what we're talking about, but somebody added on the front of it. They had a nice farmer's porch on the front of it, and somebody added another porch to the porch. So you see this nice porch, and then you see a porch extending out of that, and they have a gas grill on there. Anyway, we'll address that when we get there. But yeah, so the home is going to be restored. And it really, if you look at it, it's in pretty good shape. It doesn't need...
I thought from the outside, anyway.
And the inside is not bad too. The floors are nice. I might be able to, we'll see what happens. I have to get into it. I can't stretch it so far saying I'll be able to use the hardwoods that are in there because there's like 1/4 inch gaps on some of them.
Oh,
So I
wow.
don't, and they're painted too, which is, well, I don't understand that, but it happens, I guess.
Kind of like in the old days, people out there in the 50s and 60s, they built homes. They had hardwood floors, and a few years later, they put carpeting.
Back in the 60s, they put red oak on the floors and they covered it with carpet, new construction.
Exactly, new construction. But
Crazy.
I don't have any issues here. This is pretty simple. Majid,
Yes, I agree with you. My answer is a yes.
Mickey,
Took a look at the pictures that were submitted, and that was pretty helpful because I couldn't get out to the site, so agreed.
okay.
So I think the determination would be whether or not the barns and outbuildings are historically significant.
Which they are not.
I would make a motion to find the outbuildings not historically significant. Is that phrased correctly? All right.
Perfect. I second that.
Majid Lashkar is yes.
So Ventresco, yes.
And Wolf, yes.
Awesome, thank you. Because they're been determined not historically significant, demolition may proceed. Mr. Humphrey, I will prepare a letter stating that the commission has determined the outbuildings to be not historically significant. I'll have that reviewed by Mr. Ventresco, and I will send that to yourself and the building inspector tomorrow.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, thanks for coming,
Thank you.
Bill.
Thanks for working with me, guys, appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good night.
Okay, let me get back to. I'm sorry, hold on. So my agenda is not popping up at the moment here, Wayne, so if you can.
Oh, how frustrating.
Very-
The next agenda item would be review and acceptance of July 13, 2022 minutes.
I have read and I see no issues as they have been stated by Kathy. Great job. All in favor?
Or a motion and a second, and a roll call
Yeah.
vote.
Majid Lashkar, second.
Ventresco, yes. Second.
And Wolf, yes.
Okay. And John, still no agenda for you?
I'm sorry,
You still can't find you don't
No.
have the agenda yet? Okay.
like blocking out, I apologize.
Oh, frustrating. All right, so the next item would be an update on preservation restriction monitoring. Since neither Amy nor Tim are here tonight, we'll be skipping that one. Then the next item would be other pertinent items, and there aren't any. And again, that's meant to be for a late arriving issue, not things that are kind of on your mind. If there are things you want to talk about, you should get them on the agenda so that they're actual agenda items. And then the last thing is scheduling the next meeting. Usually it would be in September. But we have the second and the fourth Wednesdays. We are expecting a certificate of appropriateness application from the Boyadjans at 45 Main Street. The old, is that the Ho Shop?
Yeah,
The
it's,
Antrim, yeah.
what's going on?
They're re-roofing, in kind, replacing the existing skylights and replacing the shingles. So I don't think they're really making any changes, but they reached out to me yesterday, day before yesterday, and they didn't have time to get something in for tonight's meeting. But since it's a roof, I'd like to try and accommodate them.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been
So-
very good to work with over the years too.
Yeah, so I believe the next meeting would be Wednesday, the 24th at 6:30. Can the three people here tonight do that?
I can't, unfortunately. It's new student night at my daughter's college, so I have to be in orientation all day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to drive
Congratulations.
that. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I can make the 24th.
You can, so John can do that. Okay.
Yeah, I should be able to do it as well.
Okay, well, we should be able to get someone else between Amy and Tim and Greg to have a quorum for that night.
We can pull Greg out of Tuscany.
Yeah.
Is he in Italy right now?
Yeah,
All right. That's a good place to be.
that's for sure. Great.
Okay. Great. So if we're done, I guess a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Hmm.
Second,
Second.
John.
A second, Ventresco. All right, roll call vote, starting with John.
Yes.
Majid Lashkari second.
And Wolf, yes.
Okay, so that is 6:55 adjourned.
Woohoo.
Okay.
Thank you,
I can't-
everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Coming.
All right, bye now.